I'm just going to jump in. So, living the better life. The reason why I brought this up is I've heard a ton of motivational speakers, life coaches, uh, just speakers in general, people who talk about life or anything that is, along the motivational topics, has given some great tips, some really good information. And a lot of them are great. A lot of them are right, and a lot of them are right on. But what I've just recently discovered is you have to embrace the life you have and live it to the fullest. I'm sure I heard this from someone else a long time ago, but it just really kind of clicked with me recently. And for me, it's become reality because of where it came from for me, like where it clicked. Just recently, literally, probably over the last week. Yes, I like Apple. Thanks for asking. So it clicked for me because I was in the Marine Corps from 2000 to 2004. That's funny. And for me, it clicked because of boot camp. So in Marine Corps boot camp, there is 3 phases. Phase 1 is the breakdown, phase 2 is the build, and phase 3 is become. In phase 1, there's complete destruction and chaos, which makes it really difficult as a recruit. You don't see big picture, you just see what's happening right in front of you. And it's scary. You have no idea what's going to come up next. And it really shakes you because everything you do is wrong. It's very chaotic. You don't know what's going to happen next, and no matter what happens next, you're still wrong. The second phase of boot camp is the build phase, which is really interesting because it creates the foundation of the recruit becoming a Marine. It creates that foundation of them being a Marine, what they're going to be like, who they're going to be, how they're going to be. And the drill instructors don't sit there and rah and build you up like that and with motivation. They build you up with the right characters that you'll require to be a Marine, to face the challenges you're going to face. And in phase 3, you become a Marine. You become a Marine because you're facing challenges that are harder and more unique and more challenging, such as you face the gas chamber, which really sucks, and you face the rappel tower. So if you're scared of heights, it's scary. For me, it was scary. I didn't like heights. I still don't like heights. I'm scared of heights. I'm scared of falling, really, not heights. But when I faced the rappel tower and I went down it, I had a blast. I went down it like 4 times. And in phase 3, you become a Marine. So it's this refinement process and this launching. So there's a little more refining, just like when a blacksmith refines gold or a goldsmith refines gold. They keep having to heat it so much that it melts and the junk rises to the top and they scrape it off. The junk rises to the top and they scrape it off. So in phase 3, it's the last scraping off. So you get rid of that last bit of crap that comes up because it's going to come up because you're going to face obstacles and challenges. Perfect example is the Crucible. You face some of the challenges you've already faced, but they're even harder and more challenging with more rules and regulations to it. And then you launch and you're actually a Marine. For me, that process of going through boot camp was crazy. There was so much going on during that time that I was being broken down even more than a lot of the other recruits and didn't even know it. I knew something was going on but didn't quite know it because after I graduated boot camp, it was shortly after my mom passed away of cancer. So, like, what was left of me after boot camp is what really pulled me through the next 6 years. Because the next 6 years of my life were really hard. I was, adjusting to being a Marine, being stationed, and doing the things that I needed to do to accomplish my job. Thank you. And so it was really interesting. And I know I'm not the only one that's been through that. And for me, that's how life is now. Like, there's always these refining processes, these refining moments. You face obstacles, you face challenges, and it's only going to refine you and really build a foundation of the person that you're meant to be, the person you were created to be. I don't know what your beliefs are. I don't know if you believe in God or the Bible, but for me, I do. And one of the verses that popped up for me, which is used a ton in situations like this, or in talks like this, is Jeremiah 29:11. The Bible says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." Sorry, I looked away because I had to read that. I didn't want to get it wrong. This was during a time, this was sent to Jerusalem during a time where they were facing captivity with Babylon. It was a chaotic and extremely destructive time for them. They didn't know what was going to happen. And they had to embrace it. The moment they embraced it, they were able to see God's plans. They were able to see that they had a future, that this wasn't the end. This, wasn't the end for them, obviously, because they're still around now. And it's a great reminder that whether you believe in God or not, no matter what you're facing, no matter what you're going through, you need to embrace it. And that's what I found really interesting about phase 2 and boot camp. In the foundation phase, it's something happens to where you embrace the chaotic and the destructive and the crazy, and you start to become this new person. It's just a crazy process to see, and it's all purposeful. As a recruit, you see the destruction and the chaos, and you don't know that there's a purpose to it. There's a method to the madness. And for me, that's a great reminder of life, because no matter what you face in life, there is a purpose behind it. Everything we face, everything that we come across, there's a purpose. And I just think that's a great reminder. I just wanted to share this with you because it just clicked with me. I've heard this 1,000 times, probably, in many sermons and many motivational conferences. Many speakers have probably said the same thing to me, and it just has taken a long time for it to click. I can be slow like that. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm getting used to this Periscope and live streaming. It'll only get better. It's a refining process. Again, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm going to click here and see what it... I don't want to hide chat. See, I'm still learning. Still clicking around. Food stuff. Food stuff. Oh, good. That's awesome. Thank you. All right. I am heading out. I'm done. I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate you can visit my website, GaryWinchester.com. This will be posted. I have some other stuff. What I do is marketing and advertising. So this is totally off topic of what I normally would probably want to talk about. But thanks for joining me.